Okay, there has been a lot of information that has dropped for Hogwarts Mystery in the last 24 hours since I released my previous video, the one about Mad-Eye Moody. There's still a lot of new characters, more information that we've gotten, and I'll talk about those in a separate video because right now I just want to talk about, and I quickly want to get this live, and I want to talk about the Auror event. The Dueling Club event is now live. So as correctly predicted, the Auror event, which is actually the Dueling Club event again, is now live. The rewards that you're gonna get is coins, some energy, and some clothing items, depending on which stage you reach at. So this time around, you're gonna have to win 10 duels within 5 days, and it seems like it's difficult, but it can be done. Now before I talk about the strategy involved with the Dueling Club, I just want to point out that the opponents that you face have double the HP that you have. So if you're in year 1 to year 3, your character will have 40 HP, while your opponent will have double of that, which is 80. If you're in year 4, your opponent will actually have HP 90. So yes, it is going to be difficult, but it is important for you guys to know that your opponents are not real life people. Yes, you do see some real person's image there with their country that they're from, but you are not battling against real people, because if you were, there would be some sort of lag. However, there is no lag when you participate in the Dueling Club, which means that this is just AI or NPCs or computer people, however you want to call it. It is not going to be against real people. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, now let's talk about the strategy. First thing I want you guys to do is forget everything and just use the aggressive stance, the red color stance. Now I've always personally used aggressive as well because it deals the most damage of all the other attacks that you can use, but today when the Discord server members pointed this out, it was crystal clear to me that yes, my reasoning behind this was actually correct, and they actually pinpointed why exactly using aggressive is the way to go. First of all, the two most powerful moves or spells that you can use in duels is Depulso and Flipendo. Depulso, you can use it when you're using the aggressive stance, and Flipendo in the sneaky stance. When you're in the defensive stance, the only attack that you can use which inflicts damage on your opponent is if you throw the stone or the rock or whatever it is. And Depulso, which is the aggressive one, deals more damage than Flipendo, which is the sneaky one. This is why we suggest that you use aggressive stance all the time. If you use aggressive all the time, and if your opponent uses sneaky, of course you have the advantage and you can use your turn to beat the opponent. If your opponent chooses defensive stance, then yes, they do beat you in that round, but more often than not, you would probably realize even if their health is full, the opponent will use a potion or they will heal themselves, which is not going to deal any damage to you, which means you're pretty much safe. Yes, in the defensive stance, the opponent can still choose to throw the stone at you, which will inflict some damage to you, but it is not going to be as painful as having Flipendo or Depulso hit you, because those will really hurt. Of course, if your opponent chooses aggressive as well, it'll be a draw, and you'll just keep on repeating the process. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna show some footage over here right now. It's just a speed run of things. I chose aggressive all the time, and these are the results that I got. Now this is something I personally do, and I didn't see this being mentioned in the Discord server, but I like to use Incendio as well. Incendio is also part of the aggressive group, and the reason why I like to use Incendio is because there's a chance that you will inflict more damage over time to your opponent. So although the initial damage won't be as much, there's a chance that in the next 2 turns the opponent will catch on fire and basically still inflict damage to your opponent. So sometimes I like using Incendio, but most often I will use Depulso because that deals the most damage. And usually what you will notice is the very first battle that you do will be against an opponent with very low attributes. So if your attribute levels are somewhere around 20, 21, then you will more than likely to face an opponent who has attribute levels around 16 or 17. And then as you progress with more and more battles, your opponent's attribute levels will increase, which makes the battle that much more difficult. But remember, always use the aggressive stance, and more often than not you will win the duel. Yes, it is still possible to lose a duel if you choose aggressive all the way, because the opponent can still inflict damage upon you by throwing the stone, but the damage is so little that the chances of that happening are very, very low. Now I know that this video is going to be live one whole day after the Dueling Club event has gone live. That's because when the Dueling Club went live, I was still asleep. It was the middle of the night here, so I didn't find time in the rest of the day to upload as well, which is why sometimes that the information that I give to you guys is slightly delayed. And I know maybe a lot of you out there have already used all of your tickets, and you know, the Dueling Club event has ended for you guys, but you can still use these strategies in the future for whenever Dueling Club returns. So yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, I will be talking about more information with regards to future characters coming, because we have more new information with regards to those. I'll talk about that in a future video coming very soon. So that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.